Hey guys, Kyle with Dirt Bike Channel here. It is December in Utah and I've got quite a bit of snow on the ground, and so that means I can't do a whole lot of riding because I have to drive like 4 hours to find any place that doesn't have any snow. So I'm putting out some of these videos, which is some of the footage that I've had that I've kind of accumulated over the last year or so. I've got lots of years of footage actually, of just kind of unedited GoPro footage that I'm finding that more and more people are kind of enjoying to kind of see what we do out on a typical ride. So I'll kind of talk through some of this stuff. A lot of this is just going to be, blasting through single track, and then there will be some wide open spaces, and every once in a while we'll find like a rock to climb and play on, or a log to cross. The fun thing about watching some of these is you can kind of listen to what's happening with the bike and get an idea of what's happening with the clutch and those types of things to make, to get over logs or other obstacles. And I kind of snuck up on Sam, and I don't think he knew that I was gonna film him there. And he actually pounded a rock right in the middle of that creek and almost lost his front wheel. It's just fun to get out and hop over logs and blast through the trees, and hopefully you don't come too close and whack your hand on any of these things, or whack your shoulder and take yourself out. Right there I got a little bit fast, had to hit the back brake because I wasn't going to make the turn. This log was actually taller than the front fender. You guys have probably seen that on a number of the different, I've had that clip in on a number of different videos that I've done. But that log on the one side of it was as high as the top of my front fender, and so we were trying to get over it. Here was an example of how not to cross a log. I really pounded hard here and eat it on the other side of that log. What had happened was I actually didn't punch the front tire on that thing. It was actually pretty high. It doesn't look that high in the footage, but the log was like 18 inches off the ground. It had this big gap underneath it, and then it was maybe like a 12 or 14 inch log. You can see me trying to adjust my GoPro here because I was wondering if the thing got torn off the side of my helmet. But anyway, the log was tall, and I got too much loft with my front wheel, and I didn't punch the front of it, and I just my back wheel just went right and slammed right into it and just rocketed me over the other side and onto the ground. So it was kind of one of those moments where it hurt. That one actually kind of hurt. So after that, I was a little bit more ginger on the way back. So you'll probably notice that some of the time I'm not riding nearly as fast on the way back. Not that we're pushing it, because on a lot of these trails it's really tight, so you can't really push it too hard, or you're going to pound yourself into a tree, or you've got a lot of different rocks that are going to kind of take you out. But on a typical ride, what we'll do is we'll just kind of go out and go for 2 or 3 or 4 hours, and sometimes you're pushing it really hard at the beginning of the ride, and a lot of times you're kind of gassed towards the end. Sometimes you'll have to take, eat an energy bar or something like that to keep yourself going. Eagle eyes will notice that this camera angle is not with the ProShock camera mount. So this is just when I had the camera mounted on the side of my helmet, and I liked this viewing angle right up until I found the ProShock, which puts it right in front of your mouth. But one thing that this didn't really allow for is much on the bike commentary. I'm going to do a little. I think I have a little bit here later in the video where I'm kind of talking, but I'm literally yelling, and you can barely even hear me. So the day we did this trail, it was the first time that we'd actually ever been on this trail system. It was a little bit of a drive from where we normally ride, and it was a lot of fun because we got to see a bunch of around every turn was something new. So there's a lot of really cool stuff to find here in Utah, and there's a lot of really cool stuff a lot of places where you guys are, and that's kind of my suggestion, is to start researching online and start talking to people and finding out some of the places to ride. I don't make it a big habit of, you know, just exposing everything online here on my channel, because I want you to actually do your homework and find some places to ride, because that's kind of like the rite of passage, is being able to do your homework, do your research, and find where some of these places are that you want to get out. You know, when I watch these things back, I can always tell if I'm in pain or if I'm like really exhausted, because there's a little ditch up here that normally I'd go wheelie through right up here, this little puddle. Normally I'd just kind of wheelie through that, but the fact that I didn't do that tells me one of two things, or even both. I probably was still a little bit ginger, and my wrist was still kind of hurting me from dumping the bike over a little bit earlier, or I was just completely exhausted. You know, a lot of times we'll take an energy bar out on the trail, and I think I did here too, but this had been like 8 hours since I had eaten anything. This is like 8 o'clock at night, and I'd had lunch at, you know, noon, and so getting kind of low on those energy reserves. And when I go back and I watch some of the footage, I can usually tell if it's the beginning of the ride or the end of a long ride, because at the end of a long ride, I'm sitting down a little bit more and I'm just not going quite as fast. This is actually really steep downhill stuff. So part of the reason why I'm going as slow as I am is it was really, really overgrown, and it's really steep downhill. You can't really tell.
Yeah. Stay up on those pegs. Bounce through it. Oh boy, that stopped my front wheel dead in its tracks. Almost went over the bar. Whew.
I literally did almost go over the bars there. That there was just kind of one of those rocks that kind of stuck out, and I was looking down the hill on the turn, didn't notice that I was letting that front tire kind of slide, you know, kind of drift over there to this rock that would just literally stop the bike, and I almost went, you know, up over the bars on that. So just kind of and it was getting dark. Like, the GoPro is really lightening up the footage here. It's turning up the ISO on the, you know, the sensitivity on the camera, but it was really starting to get dark. And every once in a while, we run into a situation where we probably should have headlights on our bikes. On the bike I had prior to this one, I did have a headlight. Sam also had a headlight on his other bike, but on this video, we're both running 2015 300 XCs that did not have headlights. Here's some third-person footage of Sam getting his bike over this log. And you know what? He did. He actually got it over that log, so he was able to just kind of spin up over it. So that saved a lot of energy.
I cannot understate, or I cannot overstate how beautiful it is up here. I know I've said that a bunch of times. Oh, that was close. Wow, that was close. Hit that tree.
You know, right about now, we're just about back to the truck and not going too fast, just kind of taking it easy. It's getting dark. I'm tired, you know, so my hands are just taking it easy. And the thing that usually is on my mind when I'm coming back from a long ride is just how grateful I am to be able to do, you know, to be able to get out in the wilderness, be out in the, you know, in the sticks, and to be riding my dirt bike. What a privilege it is. And I don't know, my heart is usually just full when I start coming back from one of these rides, assuming that I'm not in too much pain, which usually we're not, but it's just a privilege to be able to go out there and ride. And so what I would say is, let's, you know, take care of the land. You know, don't knock down fences, don't cut through fences. Just be courteous to everyone that you come in contact with, and don't spoil it for the rest of us, you know. So don't be making a big mess, and let's make sure that we leave a good legacy for those that come after us.